Ever since humankind invented the bow and arrow, the idea of remote killing has become a crucial part of war. Today, we will be taking a look at military drones, but for understanding them better, first let's take a look at what a drone actually is. A drone is an unmanned aircraft which may be remotely controlled or be autopiloted. Drones have had an enormous growth in popularity in the recent years, and although it may seem surprising, but they have been around for more than a century, and they were first used in military. Pilotless balloons were first used in 1849 against the city of Venice. Then, at the end of the 19th century, Nikola Tesla performed remote controlling of vehicles. It was in the early 20th century that drones were produced on a larger scale, and drones like Hewitt Sperry were used as target dummies. After the huge success, US military started to use drones to deliver documents across enemy lines, in addition to developing bombing drones like Aphrodite during the interwar period. Then, during the Cold War, and especially after the Cuban Missile Crisis, US started using the drones for photographing in dangerous areas across North Vietnam, Cuba, and China. By the late 90s, US military knew that the drones were a huge success, and they were used in various other areas all over the world, but it was after 9/11 that the idea of weaponized drones were spread. US Air Force, CIA, and the JSOC, the Joint Special Operation Command, decided that the drones should be used in battlefield, and in the name of war against terrorism, they produced a huge quantity of weaponized drones, most famously the Predator, the drone that revolutionized the battlefields. Invented in 1974 by Abraham Karen, Predator is a fast drone used for striking from high altitudes efficiently and accurately. Although these drones cost vary from approximately $6 million to $15 million, the opportunities that the drones present are worth the price. The drones were weaponized and were used during the era of war on terror for manhunting individuals. They were used in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Yemen, and Somalia, and they eliminated thousands in that time. Nowadays, the drone operators can sit in a room and with the click of a button, they can destroy human beings thousands of kilometers away. But that is not it. With the advancement of technology, the drones are being considered to fight at our soil, not just the enemy land. Nano drones are the new idea for robotic police force. Flying small drones that can move in an urban area or enter even a workplace and be equipped with less dangerous weapons like tasers or tear gas. But that is taking a far shot at the future. Now, this has its advantages and disadvantages. Some could argue that the drones prevent putting the soldiers in direct danger in the battlefield, and they get rid of political consequences regarding dead soldiers and direct conflict. On the other hand, the people killed by these strikes are often not soldiers. For example, in March 2011, 40 civilians were killed in a tribal meeting because of suspicious activities. This is just one of the many cases. Now Artem will explain to you the UGVs.
The unmanned ground vehicles are the next generation of soldiers who will fight for us. There are many different types of unmanned ground vehicles, from tiny to huge drones that are controlled remotely. Teleoperation capabilities, or the ability for an operator to manipulate a control in a safe location through a radio link, is the most simplest control technology available. These robots are made with the tactical human behaviors like route taking and execution, obstacle avoidance, and mission performance. I will talk about a UGV that is used in some countries called Guardian. It's an armored unmanned machine that was created in Israel. It's one of the most common UGVs to date. This vehicle has sufficient amount of armor to protect itself in light fire attacks and against multiple enemies but not missiles. The vehicle is packed with infrared cameras, radars, high sensitivity microphones, visible sensors, and hostile fire indicators. Its equipment was built for unpredictable attacks, but its main purpose is to keep surveillance. These vehicles benefit the military with the ability to send these types of robots ahead of platoons to examine terrain they are about to enter. The technology programmed into these vehicles then allows the soldiers to spot enemies that might be waiting to ambush the platoon. This alone can help save lives. Soldiers say one of the biggest advantages to having this is the ability of these vehicles to stop out enemy snipers in the area, since the sniper is the one of the deadliest weapons used in any form of warfare. Giving the opportunity to spot these snipers out before anyone is harmed is a tremendous advantage. As we mentioned before, the drones have their defects and have hurt civilians before.
This raises the concern that the drones are inaccurate, and their use is even more unethical because they are autopilot and individuals cannot take responsibility for them. But let's look at the bigger picture here. War in general is against our own very ethics, and justifying it with the use of robots or drones is still wrong. But the drones provide an opportunity to save the lives of many, and their inaccuracy issues can be fixed with better designs. This still leaves the autopiloted drones as a problem, but they also can be solved with proper surveillance, restricted areas for drones, and development in identifying individuals. This is why we think that the drones should be used, and the ethical issues involved with it can be solved if governments spend more time and money on them. In the end, military drones are not just another lethal weapon. They are products of years of experiencing and development all around the world, and then putting the pieces together with the hope to minimize casualties inside a battlefield. And they are quite possibly the future of warfare.
Thanks for watching.